Hi, it's Fat Albert. Hey, what's up, guys? King Geo doing the live in the morning, the crack of dawn. And this is the first live that I do so early. So, welcome, people, welcome. So, today is Sunday, the beginning of a new week. Because Sunday is the beginning of the week, not Monday, guys. But Sunday. I want to see how you guys are doing today. I wrote that wrong. There we go. Go. There we go. Happy Sunday. God bless. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, people. So, a lot of people today are going to go to church. A lot of people are going to stay home and do their church services at home. They're going to do it virtual, um, whichever way you feel more comfortable with. The point is that you get some learning from going to church or doing it virtually. Um, I believe that you should pray to God every day. Prayer is very, very important to have the communication with God. So that's very important. And it's first and foremost, I want to give the condolences to the Trump family. Um, Donald Trump's brother passed away yesterday, so we got to give the condolences here at King Geo. We give the condolences to his family and wish him the very best. And um, the death of any family member is not easy to do. It's not easy to handle. So my prayers and my condolences go to the Trump family. Now, with that being said, it's early in the morning. I know some of you guys are sleepy, some of you guys are still sleepy, some of you guys are just waking up, and some of you are going to church today or whatever it is that you guys are going to do. I hope that you do it with God in your mind and in your heart. And if you can give today to somebody and you can straighten out, you can make someone's life a little bit better today, I hope that you do so. Okay? Remember, it's better to give than to receive. I mean, when you give, don't give and say, and post on Facebook, hey, look what I did. I did this. No, you keep it quiet because he's the one that has to see it. You don't have to let everybody else know what you're doing. It's a good gesture, but you don't boast when you do things like that. You keep it to yourself. God will reward you in his own time. So yes, so I am doing this live. I don't know what brought me or compelled me to do this early live, which I know that a lot of people are not going to see. But hey, but if you're in another country, come join me. You don't have to be from the United States. Um, let's see what you guys are doing. Let's see how things are working. Guys, don't forget that tomorrow, Monday, I am doing a live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do a live with four. It's going to be about child trafficking. It's going to be about missing children. Um, and I want to touch this topic because we all caught up on COVID. We all caught up on, especially here in the United States with COVID. We're caught up with politics. We're caught up with so many things that we forget that there are other things that are going on in our country or in society itself that we are not addressing. Um, just the other day, a young man, a 5-year-old boy, died here in North Carolina because he was shot by his neighbor. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about society as to why these things go on. We're not talking about child abuse. We're not talking about um, we're not talking about child abuse. We're not talking about reforming the police. We're not talking about um, child custody. And I'm saying this because a friend of mine is going through child custody right now in the state of Michigan because her son decided to go to Michigan with the baby's mother, and he was using drugs. She was using drugs, so they left. They left their kid with a friend, and they just left. So instead of DSS calling the grandmother in New York and letting them know, which is that's what they're supposed to do, and letting them know that their grandchild is in their custody, come pick them up. They didn't do that. They put the child in foster care, and they've been there for 2 years, and now she's fighting custody for her grandson. Now the mother's back in the picture, so the mother's fighting for custody. But it's been a 2-year battle because the foster parents wants to adopt the child, but now they took the rights away from the mother. Now they gave it back to the mother. So it's a back and forth, and that's called corruption. And this is the state of Michigan. And we don't talk about that. We don't talk about, which is something that it affects me. We don't talk about fathers who are paying child support for a child that's not theirs. I understand how the law works, but to pay child support for a child that is not yours is not fair, even when there's evidence that the child is not yours. In my case, I give you my evidence. I was married. I was married, and through my marriage, my ex-wife cheated. So she gave birth to another child, and this is when I first found out that she gave me HIV. So I said to myself, she said, I don't want to be with the guy, blah, blah. So I said to myself, let's go back to New York. We were living in Puerto Rico. Let's go back to New York, and we'll start anew. And she said, oh, the baby, I don't want the baby's father to know anything about the baby, blah, blah. So I said to myself, this child is not going to, I don't want this child to suffer. It's not the child's fault. I never had a baby boy. All I had was, at that time, all I had was 2 girls. So I said, I signed up the child. So we went to New York, and I was thinking and hoping that things was going to change between her and I. That we was going to be a family. We have a daughter. So the kid will come, the boy will come into our lives, and I take care of it. I'll raise him as my own. Those were my ideas. She never asked for forgiveness, but I forgave her. In here, I have forgiven her. And so what happens? So I moved to New York, and I leave my daughter in Puerto Rico with my mother. Things didn't work out between my ex-wife and I. So I left New York, and I came back to the well, first of all, she gave birth. I was with her to the birth. I gave the child my last name. And I took care of the child for 2 months, making sure that the kid did not come out HIV positive. Because if anyone knows anything about HIV, is that when the child is born positive regardless of how many medication the mother takes. And that's only because it has the mother's immune system. But the HIV with medication is very, very, very low. So you give the child medication until 2 months. Once 2 months is in, the baby catches his own immune system. So those little amounts of viral loads that baby has is flushed out from their immune system through their new immune system, and they are HIV negative. So I stood for that. Then once after the baby came out negative, I thought to myself, this is not going to work out between her and I. She's not putting attention to our relationship. She doesn't want this relationship. Anyway, so let me go to Puerto Rico and raise our daughter, a daughter that she abandoned due to the same guy. So I went to Puerto Rico, took care of my child, came back from Puerto Rico with my kid, with my daughter, my new wife. And as I applied for my license to transfer, I can't do that because my license is suspended because I had child support. I'm like, what do you mean child support? So this lady in 2010 decided to go to welfare and tell welfare my social security number, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going back and forth to court in New York saying that the child is not mine. But by law, if you're in marriage, you're considered the father of that child. But I tried to put a petition. I did a lot of petitions, and I tried to put a petition. I said, I understand your law, but I've never had any relationship with the child because they look at the benefit. I mean, the welfare of the child. I never been this child. Like, this child does not know me. This kid knows his father already. This kid hangs out with his father. This kid knows where his father lives. So by taking me off the birth certificate, it doesn't do this kid any harm. It does him good because he will have his father's last name, not mine. The judge didn't want to do that. And then the irony of it is that I speak to the baby's father once or twice. He curses me out and he says, "Oh, you're an asshole. Who told you to give him your last name?" Instead of saying, "You know what, King Gio, you're right. Let my son have my last name. I'm going to go to court. I'm going to take care of it because it's not your responsibility. That's my child." No, he thinks in his mind, but if I do that, then I have to pay child support, blah, blah, and I'm paying $55 a month for a child that's not mine. And he's 17 now. And I'm not the only person. I'm not the only father who's doing. I'm not the only man who has this happening to. There's a lot of men out there who are paying child support, and those kids are not theirs. In my case, it's different because in my case, I didn't make an impact on that kid's life. But there are cases where the child is, the man takes care of the child as his own, thinking that his own. 10, 15 years later passes by, or whatever it can be, and the child knows that that's his father or thinks that's his father, and then for you to go and say that's not your father, that's stressful on the child. So you don't want to take that away from the father, okay? But court can say, "Well, I'm not going to let you pay for something for a child that's not yours." But if you choose to, you can be the child's life. If you want to remain in the child's life, you can. But we're not going to force you to pay for a child that's not yours. But they don't put no pressure on the mother. They say you need to find the baby's father. We need to have the DNA here because this father has to pay. Someone has to pay, and it's not fair that this young man has to pay for the child, for the support of your child, for something that you did. And there's a lot of things that we don't talk about. We don't talk about. I as a ex-alcoholic, I don't talk too much about how I recovered from my alcoholism, how I beat alcoholism, how I've been sober for 7 years. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about sobriety. We don't talk about people who are infected with HIV, what to do the first time that they find out that they're HIV positive. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about people who, when they find out they have cancer. We don't talk about people, what happens when a person child dies. The child, we're supposed to bury, our children are supposed to bury us, not the other way around. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about. There's a lot of things that YouTube does not talk about, or maybe they do and I don't see it. But I want to reflect that. I want that to be said. And I want all these things to be done on a new platform that I'm trying to do now. I'm tired of doing politics. I'm tired of doing the same rhetoric about Trump this and Trump that and what this and that. It's just become stupid. We're becoming so we're stagnant on the same thing over and over again, and that does get, the redundancy gets tired, after a while. But I want to. There are things that I want. There are things that I want for people to expand. I mean, you got people who make videos on the dumbest thing, and they boom, but I want to make videos that impact the lives of people. That's what I want. I want to entertain people. Yes, I do. I want to make people laugh. I want their tears to come to my channel and let me know how they're feeling, so I can help others. That's what my show is about. My show is more of impacting people's lives in a positive way. I had a young gentleman by the name of Jay Jerk 2020, who back in January, before I moved to North Carolina, was talking about how he was hooked up on painkillers. He didn't know what to do. And between me and other viewers like Mansa, Jimbo 203, between them, another person, I forgot his name, we gave him advice. And to this day, 6 months later, 7 months later, the kid is clean because we gave him that advice. That's because that day we talked about something and it led to this, and he opened up. And it was good. He just became a father again, so it's congratulations to him. So that's what I want to do. I want to be able to impact the lives of people in a positive way. I just don't want to babble and talk about things that are incoherent. And also, we had to have fun. Like to have fun on the channel and stuff like that. And I want people, to feel comfortable. I want people to be able to talk, because even if we talk politics, so even if you follow CNN, you follow CNBC, you follow all those people, on Facebook, none of those give you the platform that I give you. I give you a chance to call in. I give you a chance to speak your mind. Whether you and I may agree on it or not, that's irrelevant, but I will still respect you. Because at the end of the day, we're human beings. Look at my hat, look at that. King Geo. At the end of the day, we're human beings. We share the same planet. We share the same air. So we have to respect one another. So I respect your opinion, whether it's not my opinion, but it's your opinion. And I have to respect that. About 3 hours to upload. So I want you to do that. I want you to think of a channel that you can say, we can talk about this in King Geo's channel. I talk about a lot of things, I even invited some guests. And some are afraid to come to my show. They like to talk a lot about it in Facebook, and they blah, 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 blah. But when I invite them to the show, let's talk about this, they don't do it. The only one that has given me, that has said, okay, I'm going to go with King Geo is Ray Roberts. He is the only one that has gone and said, you know what, I'm going to give King Geo, I had COVID. This is what I felt. He's giving me his opinion on the parties. So we share a lot. But when I post on his Facebook, and his friends are like, "Oh, King Geo, you like to talk and blah blah." So I say, let's talk about this on my channel. Let's talk about this live. Come on, if you don't have my opinion, let's talk about it. So I give them the opportunity to come onto the show and talk, but they just refuse to, for whatever reason it is. So I respect that, But so we have to think differently. We have to do things differently for 2020, because 2020 has started bad. Wish we could reboot, right, and go back to the point of where everything went faulty. It was only that easy. But yes, I need to get back to those roots. I need to get back. I want to make my Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, which is something that no one has done here. And I did it one time, but it was late. But I want to do Alcoholics Anonymous, because a lot of people don't want to go to the streets. A lot of people don't want to go to meetings themselves, because for whatever X reason it may be. So I want to bring the Alcoholics Anonymous to them. I want to bring H awareness to people. There are certain things that I do know. I know somewhat of law that I can maybe help someone out on that. Give advice on certain things. I'm from the streets of New York, from the Bronx, and I can I can tell you how to survive. I can tell you, I know something about finances. Not too many. I'm not going to say that I am that I'm a brainiac in that because I'm not. I'd be lying to you if I said that. But there are certain things that I do know how to do. I'm a good investigator. That's one thing that I pride myself in. Um, but we do things. I want this channel to grow. And if you guys want to grow with me, let's do it. We can grow together. But I want it to be, like I said, I want this channel to be a positive channel. I want this channel to be a motivational channel, so to speak. Where you can call in and you can vent and you can say what you feel, and it's free, and it's actually free. So I don't want I don't want people to hold back and say, can't do this, I can't do that. But I want you to voice your opinion. We all need to vent once in a while. Venting is good. To yell at the top of your lungs is good. If you want to hit a pillow. Anything that's constructive, that's non-destructive, that you can get your point across or have your feelings get out, and that's great. That's awesome. I'm trying different backgrounds here. I have this light here, and that light there. The building, whoa. So that's what it's all about. This Sunday, hopefully, is the beginning of a new week for you guys. That may God give you everything that you need, not that you want, but the things that you really do need. And let's get good with God spiritually. The times of coming, the time of Jesus Christ is near. The coming of Jesus Christ is near, and we have to be more vigilant. We have to be, put the armor of God, like it said in Galatians. We're not fighting wars. We're fighting principalities and spirits. So we have to be very careful. Teach our kids the values of life. Teach our kids that God does exist. Teach our kids that there's no such thing as racism. We're all the same color. So we still have time, but not too much. So, and I say that with a grain of salt because I don't even know what if Jesus comes tomorrow, Jesus comes tonight. But even Jesus doesn't know when he's coming, and he's God. So we gotta do these things, and I just hope that that this Sunday is the beginning of a new week for you guys, and this Sunday becomes a blessed Sunday for you guys. That this Sunday is the beginning of an adventure. Whatever you have in life, but let me tell you something. If you have something like that you want to do it. I try not to have regrets in life because I don't like regrets. When I was younger, I was shy. I'm not childish. I was shy, so I didn't talk to too many girls. Believe it or not, most girls talk to me. But I was shy. A lot of girls don't like nerdy guys. A lot of girls don't like nice guys. I've been told, Gio, you're a nice guy, but I can't go out with you. Like thugs. And that's not me. I'm not a thug. I'll go down with you. I'll fight with you. I don't care about that. I'm not afraid of fighting, but I ain't no thug. That's never been my thing. Never will be my thing. I do respect people, and if it matters to me. And so to do things differently, that this week this week be something great for you guys. That you guys can go out there and fulfill your dreams. Don't let nothing stir you in the way. Don't let no negativity get in your way. Don't let anyone tell you you're a low life, you're not an amount or anything. Don't listen to that. If you're going through alcohol problems, don't let those little famous words, you're an alcoholic, you're not going to stop, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. Don't let that deter you from your sobriety. Don't let that, if you're using drugs, once an addict, always an addict, you're not going to change. Don't let that deter you also. That should make that should make you stronger to move forward. So you know what? I'm not going to shut you guys up. I want to shut me up. When you do sobriety, when you want to kick off an addiction, you do it for yourself. You don't do it for nobody else. You do it for you. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that suffer. You're the one that have to go through withdrawals. So you have to go for yourself. Once you establish that you're doing it for yourself, then hey, everybody's welcome. But if you say I'm going to do it for my daughter, I'm going to do it for my mom, I'm going to do it for this, then something happens and you don't fulfill that, then you feel bad. You let yourself down. You think let your parents down, or you're the person that you're doing it for. So always do when you go into some sort of rehab that you want to change your whole thing. Your alcohol, you want to get that away from. You want to get away from drugs. Always do it for you. Always admit that you have a problem. Don't be afraid to say you don't have a problem. That you have a problem and you want to get away from this problem. And how do we do this? Some people need rehab. Some people need excessive help because it's not easy. And addiction is hard to kick, especially one that involves drugs or alcohol. It's very hard to kick. I don't care what a psychiatrist says. Only that person who's been there can tell you how it is. What are the signs? Not signs. What are the effects that we get when we stop drinking and drugging? I never did drugs like that. But I'm talking about myself as far as drinking is concerned. It's very hard mentally and physically, and one has to be prepared to go in battle because you're fighting your own demons. You're fighting yourself, And if you know that you're stubborn, then there's going to be more stubbornness. So I need you guys, if you're in some sort of deep thought that you can't do this or you can't do that, hey, drop by King Geo, let King Geo know. That's what King Geo said for. That's why I say this channel, I want it to be an inspirational channel. I want this channel to be to grow, to inspire people. I mean, Oprah Winfrey did it, right? So Oprah Winfrey can do it, and she get paid millions, and she gets paid millions. And I don't even want millions. I don't even want to get paid. I want to change people's lives. I want to be able to say that my word or my advice stop someone from committing suicide, started someone in the process of going to rehab, started the process of going to a relationship with a person that he or she thought that it could never happen, but that something that King Geo said, maybe they go for it. Don't be shy. They went for it. Something that a person say, I have this on my bucket list, but I'm too afraid to say, go for it. Stuff like that. I want it to be inspirational because you can only go as far as your brain lets you, because we are our own stopping block. We are our own determined. We determined. Not so much the outside world, but we're self-conscious. And if we look a certain way, we say we're not going to make it. If we think a certain way, or we don't think we're smart enough, and that puts you down. But you'd be surprised how smart you really are. You may not be a rocket science, but a rocket science cannot be you. They may know everything about science, but you know about the streets. You know how to fix this, you know how to fix that. Well, that rocket science, what he knows how to do is science. But if you put him to do your job, he probably wouldn't even be able to do it. By actually change a tire. Probably wouldn't even be able to change a tire. Still stuck here, so let me stop this. And go back to upload. I'm uploading a video as I'm talking to you guys. Go 720. And we gotta stop the gossiping too. We gotta stop the gossiping. We listen to, like they say, we listen to TMZ, and then we always on people's lives, and we listen to MTV Live, and all that kind of stuff, and it's ridiculous. It's really, 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 really ridiculous. So it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, bro. But yeah, so that's what I want. I want this to be my inspiration channel. I want you guys to be part of King Geo. I want you guys to feel comfortable. I want you guys to feel at home. And guys, yes, I do give out prizes once in a while. So you gotta stay tuned for that. So because when I get money, when King Geo has money, I like to give away. I may not give away a lot, like some people, like Omi. Remember, $50,000. When he reaches 500,000 subscribers, you know he gave that away. But if you see my videos, I've given certain things away, and I always answer my commentators. When people comment, I always answer their comments. I always give them feedback. So it's not like all these YouTubers, they make millions of dollars, and you give them a comment, and they don't even acknowledge you. And I don't do that. I'm a small timer. Even if I got big, I will still acknowledge you, because if I get big, who's the one that has taken me there? You guys have. I got 1,200 subscribers because you guys. I mean, I wish that all 1,200 subscribers were to view some of the videos that I do, but they all don't. So, but at least I got 1,200 subscribers, which I'm planning to get even more as the time goes by. And these things unfold, right? So, so let's talk about something. You know, I know it's 8:42 in the morning, but somewhere in China, somewhere in Europe, someone's watching. I think on King Geo's channel. Let's talk, man. Let's talk about what you want to talk, and we can talk about anything. You know, this is just not just an American channel. This is an all channel. All countries can come and join in, call us, and speak to us, because I am King Geo. And we can chat for a little while, you know, Mike, and we can do my things. And you decide what you want to talk about, and we talk about it. It's no big deal. We can talk about the Queen of England. You know, how the Prince went to the United States to be with his beautiful American wife, and we can talk about that, and we can talk about many things. You know, oh, yo, man, Bob McLeod, we can talk about a lot of things that we can do, man. We can talk about a big party. We can talk about the colorful colors of Jamaican, man. We're not talking about weed, man, because weed's all dated, man. We need to talk about the good things that Jamaican people do, man. Do you know what I mean? We got to do that, man. Don't be a bumper class. Or we can talk about brother things. We can talk about how they're doing in India. How do people portray yourself? We come to this country and we all work in 7-Eleven, or we work in a gas station. No, we did not all work in a gas station. We have other things to do. We do other things. We're very, very successful Indian people. Have you seen the Simpsons? So let's do this, guys. Let's start today with a fresh day. Make up your mind. I tell you one thing though, for all my Christian brothers, I pray. You know, today take your day. I want you guys to take a sheet of paper, if you have this index card, a sheet of paper, and write down what you want. Write down what you want, and leave it in the Bible. And don't get it for another year. Let it there. Let it sit there. Let it marinate, so to speak. And let God do His work. And you do your work. You love God. You praise God. Pray to God, not nobody else, and believe in God that. Faith is the key thing here. That you have faith in Him, though you don't see Him, but that you have faith in Him, and that He lives here in your heart. And whenever you have some doubts, you can always talk to Him. You can always get in the Bible and look for scriptures, and that will help you to gain a better understanding of the things that are happening. You know, so those are the good things that we could start doing for the Sunday. It's writing down what you want to do for the week, or writing down what you want in general. Put that in the Bible and let it sit there and let God do His thing. So that's what God's there for. You know, when we try to do things on our own, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and then we just give up. And giving up is no good. People say, "Oh, I failed." No, failure is to have never tried at all. That's failing. That is failing. So yeah, never say you failed. Okay. Trying to see how many people come on here, but it's early during the day. I mean, I know that my viewership has gone down a lot since I moved from New York to North Carolina. I was doing a lot of lives, and that's gone down. And when I had my live, I had at least a good 20 people talk on my live, but that has gone down. And I guess people move on. Or Max had to do his own thing. Mr. Random does his own thing, which so great. Joe MCC had to do his own thing. Jimbo doing his own thing. I think Jimbo's getting married, so I can understand all that. But other than that, guys, we need new fresh faces here. Faces that are going to stay. I'm very grateful for those people who followed me from November to January until I moved here, and now they moved on to their own thing, which I'm grateful for that. I'm happy for them that they're doing their own thing, which is great. So, with that being said, guys, I just hope that you guys have a great week. I hope that you guys have a good Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have anything that you want to talk about, let me know. Don't forget that tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are doing missing children, exploiting children. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about children too. We got to get into a topic this week about pedophiles. This is sickening. It's sickening. Trust me. We got to talk about that too. But we got to keep our kids safe. We got to keep our kids safe because our kids are our future. Our kids are our lives, and we cannot let these perverts destroy other kids' lives. We got to keep away people from taking away our kids and doing whatever they want. Laws should be tougher on them. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you have a lovely Sunday. Enjoy it. Go to church, pray for your loved ones. Make sure that you pray for your enemies too. What Jesus said when he was on the cross, God forgive them, Father forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. Don't forget to subscribe, and God bless.